Hey guys, you know, I think a big question, or not a big question, but kind of an interesting question that's been asked recently, and I am doing this uncut and unscripted and on the fly, is, well, basically what DrWolf said in his theory video. And that is the possibility that Grogar could end up merging merging all three villains, Crissy, Tirek, and Cozy Glow, into a new monstrous being. Is it possible that that could happen? Yes, there's no doubt about that. We obviously see that there are merged, fused monsters and creatures out there. And if you want a good example of the fact that they are merged and fused together, and a possible result of Grogar doing it, you have to look no further than the Season 8 finale, when basically they had to give up the rest of their magic to help Twilight and the rest of the main 7 get out of Tartarus before it was too late. And when they did so, they ended up separating into individual animals into their own individual species. So, is it possible that he could do that to Cozy Glow, Tirek, and Crissy? Yes. Could he do it to the point that they wouldn't be bickering with each other or be separate entities, but be one entity and maybe even mindless and obedient to him? Yes. Could he do it as probably punishment for them trying to betray him by revealing that he's always known they were going to pull this, and that this is the punishment they get for trying to go against him? Yeah. But is it too dark? That is a good question. And we have seen this series go a little dark at times, and actually tackle mature scenarios. But would they go that far? But would they go to the point that they would merge these three together? Again, like I said, it's a possibility. Now, DrWolf did state that he doesn't think they would probably do so, and I think there's a reason why he pointed that out. Mostly due to the fact that you have Cozy Glow involved, and Cozy Glow is basically still looked at as a filly/child. So by endangering a filly/child into the mix, and making her a victim of this kind of fusion/merger transformation, might be going a little too far. But then again, we have to look at the fact that they weren't afraid of basically making her the villain last year and making her the reason why nearly all of the magic in Equestria was lost, as well as the fact they didn't have a problem with her nearly attempting to murder someone like Starlight, or send her into another dimension or limbo or whatever. They had no problem doing that. You know, they have no problem touching upon some dark moments in there. Like, even though it's not as dark as, people would, estimate it to be, they have basically indicated in their own way that Applejack's parents are not around. And that's kind of dark, because when you take a look at the rest of the main group, with the exception of Spike, but that was pretty much resolved in episode 200, when you take a look at the rest of the group, we've met a majority of their parents, even Starlight's and Sunburst. So with Applejack, her parental situation is the only one that might be a little dark, because pretty much it's indicated her parents are dead. And the only time we've ever met her parents actually is in flashback in The Perfect Pair. Now, Now, again, the question is asked, would it be too dark to go that route? Maybe, maybe not. Because, here's the thing. When you take a look at the trailer, there is a scene that has Twilight, Spike, and I'm assuming the rest of the main 7 confronting Grogar. And it looks like he's going to show up by himself. So you wonder, where the rest of the villains are. Are they on the side of Twilight and her friends? Because they see the real threat this character brings? Or are they dead? Were they merged together into a mindless being that got destroyed? Because we do see something in the trailer get shattered once it gets blasted out of the castle. When we see this big beam of light, we don't know what that is. It could be, surprisingly, it could be Discord for all we know. But we don't know that. I mean, that would be a dark moment there, but we don't know that. So there's a lot of possibility. So basically, there's a lot of possibilities of whether or not they will go that far or they won't. And again, like I said, DrWolf pretty much feels that they probably won't do it. They'll hint at it maybe, but they won't do it. But again, you can't put it past them to go this far. You really can't. I mean, you take a look at, what was it? The Cutie Remark. I think that's what it was. The finale for season 5. And there were moments that when Twilight and Spike and Starlight would go through time, you would see different moments occurring. And through these different moments, you would get some rather dark moments. Not too dark, but you'll be like, wow, I can't believe they actually are doing this in this show. I mean, there's even a moment to where you take a look at the season 4 finale, and that two-parter is the only one so far, as far as I know and anybody else knows, that has gotten a TV Y7 rating because of what was involved. That was the surprise. That was the surprise to a lot of people, that out of all the episodes, even the ones that have shown up currently in the current seasons, this is the only one that's ever gotten a TV Y7 rating. Because of the fact that it was intense. It was dark at times. It was, mature. I mean, the fact that you had Tirek sucking the energy, the life force, basically, out of ponies and other magical creatures, that's pretty dark. That's pretty dark when you think about it. So, basically, getting back on topic here, would they do it? Would they actually go that far, like DrWolf said? Or theorized? And again, it's up in the air. It's a possibility. He doesn't think so. I'm sure others don't think so. But it's a possibility. But there are other things that people look at too. Some have even said there could be a moment. Some are speculating that the rest of the main 7 are going to sacrifice themselves, and Twilight and Spike are going to have to find a way to bring them back, in which they would probably succeed in doing so. And that would be dark. But would they do it? Would they go that far? That's the question. No one really knows. No one really knows that they would even attempt that. But we have to wait and see. There are a lot of situations. There are a lot of possibilities of how far or how dark they could get and how far they can go with that. With that darkness. If they do it. I mean, there's a possibility that we see Wendigos in the air. And we don't know whether or not that's in the past and time travel is going to be involved, like I said in one video. Or, that's after the destruction of Ponyville and Canterlot, and here comes Grogar, and he has the ability to turn any creatures into anything he wants, any kind of monstrosities. So who's to say Grogar doesn't take maybe even some background ponies like secondary background popular ponies like, let's say, Vinyl Scratch and Derpy and Voice, and not Voice, but Lyra and Bonbon, and say, you know what? I'll show you an example of my power and what I can do. Poof! Turn them into Wendigos, and they just start flying into the air and going in a circle. Who's to say he won't be capable of doing something like that? That would be pretty dark. Upsetting to a lot of fans that love those characters, but it would be dark. But it would be kind of dark in a sense. But the question overall is, how dark can they get? Or how dark will they get? Or could they get? And will they get? I know I just said that twice, but basically the question is, how dark can/will they get? And possibly could get. How far will they be allowed to go with this finale? We don't know. We don't really know. We do know there's a scene that looks like, the main 7 are all worn out from battling, and here comes possibly Grogar to give them the one last final shot, for all we know, to try to take them out. Again, how dark can things be? It's all up in the air. And, DrWolf, like I said, he brought up a good point. The merger of Cozy Glow and Tirek and Crystallis into one monstrous being is a possible dark route to go. And if they add in them becoming mindless and of one mind, and like I said, mindless and obedient to Grogar only, that's a a direction they can go as well. But again, it's up in the air. I mean, we don't know exactly how far they'll be allowed to go. I mean, this is not like the 2017 movie where they were able to destroy/kill the Storm King after he got turned to stone, thanks to Tempest coming to their aid, and basically in that one swift moment, or I know I can say words here. In one swift moment, I'll put it that way, or one swoop, that's the best I can say it, coming in and basically redeeming herself by basically saving them from being turned to stone, by getting herself turned to stone and having the Storm King turned to stone, and thus the Storm King ends up falling and shattering and dying and all that. So this is not like the movies where they can get away with something like that. I mean, yes, we have seen characters get killed. There is no doubt. People point out twice of what happened to Sombra in the season 3 premiere and in this final season's premiere. Everybody points that out. But is that as far as they'll be able to go? I mean, we saw the destruction of the Tree of Harmony in said premiere. Will they be able to go that far? Could they go in? Are they going to be allowed to go any further? That's the question. But I think we'll just have to, wait and see what they do. I mean, again, the possibilities are, are endless of how dark they could go, potentially. But again, the question is, how dark will they be allowed to go, if at all? That's the question. What do you guys think, though? How far do you think they'll be allowed to go when it comes to dark moments and a dark atmosphere in this finale? Or do you think they'll be allowed at all? Let me know down below. Comment if you like. Let me know. What are your thoughts? And I will talk to you all later. But those are just my thoughts, my opinions, on the fly, uncut and unscripted, of how far I think they could go with how dark they might be allowed to how dark they could potentially be allowed to go. So let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. Talk to y'all later.